Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Today we're going to be looking in depth at Britannia, the history of her on our coinage. I've been saying for a long time that she deserves her own video, so let's get into it. You'll be familiar with Britannia because she's on the definitive designs on currently circulating £2 coins, which you can see here. A definitive design means a standard design rather than a special design issued to commemorate a person, event or anything else. She replaced the Technologies design in 2015 after its 18-year tenure on our circulating £2 coins. It was designed by Anthony Dufault and is the only Britannia which is now struck for circulation. Before the £2 Britannia, this coin will be very familiar to you. This is a Christopher Ironside definitive design which was in circulation on the 50 pence from 1969 up to 2008 before being replaced with the Royal Shield design. With over 1.5 trillion 50 pences minted over this 39-year service, it's a good chance that if you have a 50p, it's probably a Britannia. Before being on the 50p, she featured on the pre-decimal pennies for over 200 years, including William IV, Queen Victoria, Edward VII, George V, would have been on Edward VIII had he not abdicated. This is a modern replica one that you can see. George VI, and then Elizabeth up to 1971 when the UK went decimal. This is just a snippet of the more recent coins you will see Britannia on, but with such a long period on so many coins, why is that? Well, we need to go back to the Romans to answer that question. Here I have a Roman coin to show you. Although this one does not feature Britannia, she does feature on the reverse of some of the coins issued under this Emperor Hadrian, where she is seated with a shield at her side. It's a strong, elegant depiction. Britannia is the Latin name for the island of Great Britain and came to refer to the Roman province that encompassed a good portion of the landmass after the conquest in 43 AD. From the 2nd century, Britannia was personified as a warlike goddess, armed and holding a shield. Hadrian ruled as emperor between the years 117 and 138 and took a more defensive approach to his rule. Rather than carry on his predecessors' campaigns of expansion, he focused on development and the stability of the existing held lands. Erecting Hadrian's Wall, marking the northern border of Britannia, he also visited almost every province under his control, something his predecessors had not. We stay with Roman coinage, this time under the reign of Emperor Commodus, who ruled between the years 176 and 192. Again, this specific example does not feature Britannia, but on his coinage, Britannia is ready for battle, holding a sword and helmet. She reminds us of the legendary Queen Boudica, who resisted the Roman invaders. Emperor Commodus marks the beginning of the end of the golden era of peace within the empire. There was reduced conflicts during his reign, although he was assassinated aged 31, and his successor was the first emperor in the troubling year of 5 emperors, but that's another story for another day. After the Roman withdrawal, the phrase Britannia became commonly used to describe the land of the Britons, but for 1,000 years the use of a woman to depict Britannia fell out of favour. For a resurgence of the female Britannia on our coins, we need to roll forward the clocks quite far, to the rule of Charles II. We'll look at specifically a pattern coin farthing of 1665, which you can see here. The reverse features a seated Britannia holding a sprig of leaves in one hand and a spear in the other, resting on a shield. We did a whole video on pattern coins, which is a fascinating topic itself. This particular coin was designed by John Rotiers, and there are many varieties of this experimental piece. This particular silver version is one minted with a scarcer die. Britannia returning to coins is in part thanks to 2 queens, Mary and Elizabeth, both daughters of King Henry VIII. With Elizabethan writers using a female Britannia, including designs based on Roman coinage, helping to rebuild the image of Britannia as being embodied as a female character. Britannia also circulated at this time on a halfpenny in 1673. I have here an example of a 1675 halfpenny, on which we see again the seated Britannia on the reverse, with the wording Britannia around her design. Interestingly, with Charles II's early copper coins, the mint was unable to produce the rolled sheets of copper to cut the blanks out to make these coins. This led to the finished blanks being imported from Sweden. That's finished blanks, not Finnish blanks. The prices for these were agreed, but the Swedish export fee was not included, which resulted in a slightly higher minting cost, so as a result the weight of the first year's coins was reduced slightly. If we look forward to 1797, we find a new commonly circulated Britannia, minted during the reign of King George III with a value of 1 penny. These were quite hefty coins, weighing at just over 28 grams. Britannia is pictured with a trident in this design by Conrad Küchler, with a beautiful ship in the background. Just above one of the sevens in 1797, you can see the word Soho, the name of the mint that these were created at. The Soho Mint was established by Scottish industrialist Matthew Boulton, who had previously partnered with James Watt to revolutionise the steam engine. Boulton had turned his eye to coinage, given that his modern steam engine had enabled him to create other metal products. After unsuccessfully lobbying the UK government, he began to supply Sierra Leone, Russia and the East India Company with coins, and also providing blanks or planchets, the small metal discs that would become coins, to other mints in the world, including Philadelphia. By 1797, it was estimated that 2/3 of circulating coins were fake, worsened by the Royal Mint closing down. The Bank of England stopped redeeming its bills for gold in an attempt to get more money into circulation. All these factors came to a head, and Boulton and his Soho Mint were finally awarded a contract to make pennies. Although counterfeits were made, Boulton persevered, adding extra security features, making it too complex for forgeries to be created with enough speed as to make it worthwhile, and so the counterfeiters turned to forging older coinage still in circulation. This is the reason that the coin is so large, as each coin was to contain the value of the metal in weight that matched the value of the coin. So this 1 penny coin contained a penny's worth of copper. Another fascinating Britannia minted at the Soho Mint is this coin, a 1788 copper gilt halfpenny. Britannia is seated on a globe, one arm propped on a shield with the Union flag, holding a laurel wreath, while in her other arm she clutches a spear. It's a highly detailed engraving, the edge of the woman's robes showing tiny leaf details, while flowers appear at her feet. Behind this design is Jean-Pierre Droz, who had made his name engraving the Napoleon coins at the Paris Mint. He was persuaded to work for Boulton at his Soho Mint, cutting pattern dies for coins and helping to improve the die, coin and medal quality. He also devised a collar used to engrave the sides of a coin while still maintaining its circular shape, which remained in use after he left their employment after 2 years. For his work, Boulton was later awarded the right to mint other low denominations of copper coins. So influential were his machines that when the Royal Mint reopened at Tower Hill, he was contracted to kit it out with state-of-the-art minting machines, a few of which are retained and displayed at the Royal Mint's current home in Llantrisant in Wales. With a rising cost to minting the large copper cartwheel pennies, by 1806, smaller coins designed still by Conrad Küchler began to be issued. I have here an example of one such coin. Britannia is featured with an olive branch raised in one hand and holding a trident in the other, resting on a shield bearing the Union flag. Once more off in the distance there is a tiny ship, and to the bottom right of the shield the inscription Soho. In 1825 these designs were replaced with William Wyon's penny, featuring Britannia with a notable change in her appearance, moving her ever closer to the modern day Britannia we recognise now. Here I have an example of an 1826 farthing. Now this was designed by renowned engraver Benedetto Pistrucci, who worked alongside Wyon at the Royal Mint, although their relationship was less than amicable throughout. Pistrucci would also design the iconic St George and the Dragon design we still see in common use on sovereigns to this day. Wyon's Britannia, similar to Pistrucci's, is depicted wearing a Grecian helmet and trident and shield, emphasising her use to depict military strength. On Pistrucci's farthing you can see a lion at her feet, a long-held creature in the heraldry of England. Finding ourselves back to Queen Victoria's pre-decimal pennies, we have come full circle in our story of Britannia on British coinage. Now this is an 1848-47 1 penny, featuring a strong image of Britannia by William Wyon. By this time, the Royal Navy had seen years of growth and expansion to become the world's leading naval force of the time, with the growth of this force as did that of Britannia, with ties to its naval strength and power. What a marvellous history this iconic character Britannia has in our culture and on our coins. France has Marianne, the USA has Lady Liberty, Greece has Hellas, and we have Britannia to personify our nation. Now, we're not quite done with Britannia because she also features on a series of precious metal coinage as well, which we're going to take a look at next week, so be sure to tune in next week to see that video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, it's free to do and means you won't miss any of our future uploads. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of pictures of our products. We're on Twitter and TikTok, we've got our shop and online store. There are links down in the description to the coins I featured in today's video, along with our wider product holding. Before I wrap up today's video, I wanted to highlight an issue that's becoming more prevalent on YouTube videos. Unfortunately, there are fake spam bot accounts using the icons from known YouTube channels and asking you to contact them through WhatsApp, reporting to be us at the Britannia Coin Company, for example. Now, we would never ask you to contact us through Facebook. All of our contact details are available on our Britannia Coin Company websites, so please do check those. Now, let me know what your favourite Britannia is, and I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.